Hello, welcome. We're going to play a couple youth matches now. Just checking my youth squad. I think the team is set up fine. So yeah, let's just go. Oh no, one youth league. I was lucky. I didn't want to play a senior one, so we did find the youth one straight away. Right, so we'll check Bergs. So 335. Where are we in this? 2.63. So we're 530. I don't know. I kind of suspect we're going to have some pretty good form for the rest of the season, to be honest, because of we bought that extra striker. We'll see what happens. This guy Gardelis. There we go. 4 minutes into his debut, he's scored. Good chance. Gardelis again. Oh, he should have 2 goals, really. That was a great chance. These youth matches are a little bit interesting, I guess, from the perspective that there's like changes we can do that make us way more defensively solid potentially, but really reduce our sort of ability to pin them in. So we've got to pay attention to that every match about how much our fullbacks are actually contributing to helping attacks going. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out for. And he still could get back and make the defensive play then. So I think that's just something you just need to pay attention, like when you're playing full. So he's exploited there because he was up a bit. He's got back, he's missed the tackle, and we're in shambles and they could score. So it's an example of where maybe having fullbacks that doesn't happen. But still at the end of the day, if you fullback or your wingback, whatever he may be, if he misses a tackle against the winger when they're advanced like that, it's not going to be good. But the thing is that it might have been further up the pitch, like because he was the wing back he was chasing, which meant that the tackle happened later on, which meant that when it was missed, it was even worse. And if you had missed it earlier, the rest of the team could have like adjusted to compensate better with more time. So just got to pay attention to stuff like that. Basically, if you're playing wing backs, are they actually helping your team attack? And How are they? How are the transitions looking? Because you're giving up a lot of defensive stability, like for this type of situation to happen, to give up that goal. So now maybe if they're fullbacks, that doesn't make much difference because it was route one over the top. But I think the point remains that you're giving up quite a bit defensively by playing the wing backs. So you need to make sure that they're contributing enough in the other aspects of the game. And by other aspects, I guess I'm talking about not only attacking but also the transitions both ways. So you're defending to attacking transitions and you're attacking to defending transitions. But they seem to be getting the ball up pretty easily, to be honest. We're not really ever pinning them in. So I would say there's probably reason enough to just set them to be fullbacks, and we can just see what things look like a bit, and just try and pay attention to the attacks. Because we do have to also consider that we're not winning, so we need a goal. Hopefully it comes here, and it does. So now I think we're in a good spot. Hopefully we're just going to win. But I don't think on the whole that those players as wingbacks that were really helping contribute much anyway towards our attacks. So I didn't feel like setting them to be fullbacks was like really reducing the chance that we would score. So we don't have any right-sided players on the bench or any left-sided players on the bench. So we're basically just stuck with starting and finishing our fullbacks, whatever happens here, which is why De Jong is still on. Good. And they score. You know what? I sort of realised I've realised something that's having conceded a second goal too late. To be honest, we might just lose the match because we've realised this too late. Which is just that they're basically only going through the centre. Their goals, their attacks, their dangerous stuff is just straight through the centre. So probably what these should be are inverted wing backs. And probably they don't score that goal, or either goal, to be honest. I'm not sure how early we knew about that, but we certainly knew about it after they scored the first goal to be able to make this change immediately. Don't know if we knew about it before they scored the first goal. And unfortunately we were winning twice. So hopefully we get away with it and score another goal, but we don't really deserve to get away with it pretty much, because I feel like we could have just made that change way earlier. So I'll put the sub in, not the sub, the tactics change, make some changes. Alright, I guess we're going to do this one. This one. And I guess this one. Get a corner. They may win yet, obviously. I don't know. I feel like we just deserve to lose, to be honest. It was such a massive oversight. And we get away with it, but yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, we get the draw. Like I said, we didn't really deserve to win. I don't feel like we certainly could have made that change after they scored the first goal. And yeah, of course we make it. Maybe they still score, but it was just an obvious change to make that we didn't. So if we made that change and then they end up, not scoring the way they did, but end up getting that whatever that sequence at the end, and they happen to score off that, then so be it. But at least we made the right changes. If you're not making the right changes, we can't really, that was lost. That match was lost twice, effectively. Like, we had sort of two chances. We had a 1-0 lead and then a 2-1 lead, and could have just defended it both times, I think, reasonably. And instead, basically, just not only did we concede 2 goals, but we basically conceded 2. Like, both of their goals were basically just scored the same way as well. He's 45, not particularly good. Not sure if we checked the team we played in the last match. I feel like we did, but I might just be confused with the senior ones. Anyway, we'll focus on this match. We missed a bunch of good chances in the last match as well, but again, it's no, we could have... We easily could have just made the... I don't know. We could make up a lot of excuses how we deserve, but if we just didn't really, that's the thing. We did enough to win, sure, and if we were a little bit luckier, we would have won, but we certainly weren't playing in a way where we're sort of saying we could be quite unlucky and still win, and that needs to be your mentality. If you want to win nearly all of your matches, or the vast majority of matches, you need to have the mentality that you can take on board a certain amount of misfortune in any given match, and you still give yourself the best possible chance to win. And we just didn't do that in the last match. We got a bit of misfortune, and we didn't win. And that's the way it rolls. So one thing I'm just thinking about now that we could have done with some testing and friendlies and stuff, which we just don't have time, but it's definitely worth paying attention to and thinking about, is just which way around these three strikers are. Because our tactic is asymmetrical still, even without the poacher role, because the MLC is attacking midfielder and the MRC is central midfielder. And so we're going to have more attacking throughput on the left side. Which I think means something like the striker that's the ARC is like slightly more isolated. So I think the original thinking is correct that they should be this way around, but it's just worth paying attention to. The reason why it's okay that he's slightly more isolated, to be clear here, is just because he's way faster. Pretty much. But, you know, that's the thinking. I'm not sure if it's correct. Because you could argue, for example, at least depending on how the match is happening, that you'd be better off having the faster guy on the left side so that the ball, if it drifts out like this, and let's say he cuts inside, but let's say the ball was out wider, and he drifts wide to get it, then the MLC would be coming higher up to be an option on the same side, and then the striker. So we'd have two options. Yeah, this match is just over. You know, to be honest, to the point where we might as well just change the strikers around so we can just try and pay a bit of attention to that. So he's won the tackle, and now this is the issue, that he's done whatever, but he's kind of, well, that was a bit different because he won the tackle up. It's not a normal situation. So let's not dwell on that too much, because it's not something that you can necessarily really plan for tactically. So this is what I'm talking about. Oh, then he earns a penalty. Okay. And Supic misses it. Alright, but again, not to worry, because we'll probably win the match anyway, so it'd be nice if he did score it. Especially when we were talking about him wanting to hopefully get some crazy amount of goals in the youth league this season, like averaging sort of more than a goal a game. Not sure, that might be in serious jeopardy now, by the way, with Gardelis up front with him. Because I think Gardelis will score more goals. And, well, it's going to be really hard to have two strikers average more than a goal a game for the season. It's going to be pretty hard to pull off. Not impossible though, if we putting in strong enough performances. But yeah, it's just, especially when we ideally be subbing on our other strikers quite often, as often as we can, to get them some matches and stuff. So like you've got contrasting objectives, I suppose. On the one hand, you want these two guys to score bucket loads of goals, and on the other hand, you're saying you want to sub them off as much as possible. To be honest, I'm kind of feeling like Supic is just surplus to requirements at this point. I mean, as I say that, he just scores the goal or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like Gardelis has got a lot much bigger difference between his sort of like current ability and his ceiling. So way more scope for growth. They're both 20 years old, and he also just has more scope to be of some use to the first team, both now to cover for injuries and in the future. Whereas Supic always just feels like he's effectively just a liability, just about. Like he's such a step down whenever he plays for the senior team. Yeah, if we sell Supic, then the other guys can play again. Basically, is what it comes down to. Because right now, it's like, when are they? How are they? They're just about never going to play. Before, one of them would start, the other one would sub on for him every single match. It was easy to do, pretty much. Like now, it just feels like they've gone from them both playing every single match to, well, neither of them playing. Both making an appearance every match, both getting their training points every match. Yeah, I suppose we got an excuse to sub one of them off now. I don't know. I guess Letty needs it more. I might as well sub this MC off at the same time, and probably the other sub I'll do is the DMC. At least Letty gets his chance. Hope that he misses it. Another chance. It's probably time for the DMC. Quite sure, just try and pay attention. What is it, 18 minutes? This other guy's got hardly any condition or like any endurance, so let's just see how he goes for 18 minutes. Probably swap these strikers around, I'm thinking. Just for the same reasons that they ended up that way to begin with. I'll swap them back because Letty is not fast, basically. Yeah, I was thinking, to be honest, we could have had more than 6. It kind of felt that way. I think the stats, to some degree, also suggest that a little bit. We had a couple of really great chances that the keeper just kind of caught, so... So yeah, there's just 2 matches. This one was just very, very easy, straightforward win. And the other one, I feel like we definitely just could have won it with the right tactical change that we identified too late, and cost us the match. So, draw and a win. I think we're just still on track now for promotion for both senior and youth, so that's good. So, yeah. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Cheers.